Cauliflower is an often overlooked member of the cabbage family. Normally overcooked to a soggy, mushy mess, it has become a kid's worst nightmare at the dinner table. But it doesn't have to be like that. What if I told you we could create a creamy, cheesy cauliflower dish that would have your kids begging for more? Follow me into the kitchen and I'll show you how. When you buy cauliflower in the market, make sure you look for heads with nice compact flowers and always try to buy them with the leaves on. That's an indication of freshness. Also, you want to make sure that there aren't any brown spots anywhere. That's also another sign of age, and your cauliflower just won't taste as good. So all I have to do is take off those leaves. There we go. And now we're going to start cutting off our florets. So I'm going to cut this big part off right here. And now using the tip of my knife, I'm going to cut in just into these individual florets. There we go. And just kind of go around and work your way down through that cauliflower. And now once you have most of these big florets removed, we're going to pull them into pieces, probably cut these in half, so they should be about 1 inch, because we want everything to cook evenly when we blanch them. Now the reason why we're going to blanch them is we want the cauliflower to be just a little crisp tender, but not too cooked through. Okay, our cauliflower is ready for boiling water. Before I put these in, I'm going to put a generous amount of salt. This is going to help the cauliflower cook and season from the inside out. Now that that's in, just dump these in. We're going to blanch them for about 7 minutes. And while we do that, we're going to move on to our bechamel. To make a bechamel, which is a classic French sauce, we're going to add a tablespoon of butter to our pan. So I'm just going to melt my butter in the pan. And then once the butter's melted, we're just going to sprinkle over our flour and mix those two together. And what we're actually doing is creating a roux. The simple combination of that butter and that flour together is going to make the sauce nice and thick. And I want to cook this out for a little bit, because if you've ever tasted raw flour, it doesn't taste very good. But if I cook this for about 1 or 2 minutes, that raw flour taste disappears. Once your roux is cooked out a little bit, I'm going to add cold milk to this. Now, anytime you are using a roux and a liquid, make sure one is hot and the other is cold. What I mean by that is I had a hot roux and I added cold milk. That's going to prevent lumps. So if you've ever made gravy at home and you had room temperature milk and a hot roux, it's not going to come together very well. And now all we need to let this do is thicken and cook. It's going to take about 7 to 10 minutes. It's going to be this really nice creamy sauce that we're going to put over our cauliflower. Look how nice and thick our bechamel has gotten. We want to season it. So again, I'm going to add a little bit of freshly grated nutmeg on top. Okay, nutmeg is in, a little bit of salt, because we want that to be seasoned, and a little bit of pepper. You can leave that out if you like a nice, pure white creamy sauce. Mix that in. All right, it's time to assemble our dish. The cauliflower is perfectly cooked. It's still got a nice little bit of crunch to it, so it's not all mushy. Just going to take this out and put it in my baking dish. Whew, and it's really hot, so be careful. There we go. And then over the top, oh, that looks so good. We're going to pour the bechamel. Now you can see why everybody loves this dish, because it has that nice creamy sauce with the subtle taste of the cauliflower underneath. There we go. That looks perfect. And now the finishing touch, we're going to add a little bit of grated cheddar cheese. You can use any type of cheese that you want. I just happen to like sharp cheddar with this one. If you wanted to use Colby, that's fine. Or a little bit of white cheddar, that would be beautiful too. And now we're just going to pop this in the oven for a few minutes to let the cheese melt and everything mix together, and we're ready to eat. Look how cheesy and wonderful this is. This is a great autumn dish that kids and adults will both love. Happy and healthy eating.